Hey, this is Tom Gatlin. We're here at Taylor Hollow Knives with a buddy of mine who lives down the road from me, Chris Taylor. I got him to rework a knife handle for me here recently, and I got interested in what the man was doing. He seems to know a little bit about the craft, and there's not many people that do old crafts like making knives and making wooden bowls and just neat side hobbies that, you know, they can turn into a side business for revenue. And any little knowledge like this in Pike County and backwoods Mississippi is always fun and interesting. So we're gonna find out a little bit what it's about today.
Okay. Steamy fire makes a hotter fire. I'll start it with some rolled up newspaper and throw some regular cooking charcoal like this and get a bed of coals going and throw the wet coal on top of it and start creating steam to create a hotter fire.
You can start out with any type of, you just make sure the metal's throwing good starts, and you start out with any lawnmower blade.
That's right. That's the whole purpose for me getting in this, because I don't want to be commercial. I don't want to sell a $500 knife. I got into this for people that want a quality knife without the Buck brand price.
We'll hit that for a minute. Then we'll take it off.
Is it warm?
Oh yes. Oh yes. See, all I'm doing now is just setting the primary bevel. Drawing the edge down thinner.
Right.
But one thing about steel is it will form a memory, what I call a memory. I'm sure that's not the technical blacksmith term.
Yeah.
But if you don't hit it equally on each side,
I noticed you just went one time down that side and flipped it over.
when you go to quench this steel, like look down the edge of the blade now, you see the curve in it.
Right.
If I was to quench this in oil, that curve would greatly increase. And if you only hit it on one side, you'll know you hit it on one side more than you did the other, because the blade, when you quench it, will curve to that side.
Chris, how'd you get started in knife making?
It's my wife's fault or my wife's credit.
Okay.
However you want to put it.
Yet to be determined.
When we got married, we went to Gatlinburg on our honeymoon, and she dropped me off at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, which is it's Walmart size, but nothing but blades.
She didn't understand. It's kind of like dropping a woman off with a credit card at the mall. Like she probably should have supervised you, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. Because she gave me a limit to spend on our honeymoon. That's where this all started, you know.
Yeah.
And I saw the flyer for forging demonstrations in the little shack outside. Well, come to find out, the cabin was over 100 years old, that they moved to Smoky Mountain Knife Works and converted it into a blacksmith shop. I go out to the cabin, and they have all these kits hanging on the wall with just short pieces of file.
At that point, you're a fella like me. You know.
That's right.
Nothing.
I know nothing.
Okay.
I said, I want to try this. Have you ever done it before? Well, no. Okay, great. So that's the people they look for.
Hey, I know about you growing up in this area in Pike County, and your daddy Ray was a gunsmith, which of course kind of forced you to grow up around metal.
That's
and
right.
Stuff like that. So, did that have any influence at all on your interest in metalwork?
Absolutely. Watching Daddy work on a gun, hearing the explanations from people that bring in the guns. You know, it won't do this, it won't do that. And usually the first question he asked is, well, have you cleaned it lately? But the process of watching him take something apart and then put it right back together the same way it came apart, it just enthralled me. And I kind of took that as, well, when I do my forging, you know, I'm kind of taking something apart too.
Right.
It's not in little bitty pieces, but in a solid context. And doing kind of the same way. It's not necessarily mechanical, but he did influence me, you know, watching him and seeing the ease that he did everything. Working on a car, working on a gun, You know, anything, you know, if it was bent, you straightened it. You know, there was a certain way you did things. There's a certain way you hit things. I watched him fix a dent in my truck one time with a blowtorch and a chain. He'd heat it a little bit and pull it a little bit. Heat it a little bit and pull it a little bit. But the whole time he explained, you've got to do it in steps or you're going to tear the whole thing up.
How did he get into that?
I honestly have no idea.
He piqued his curiosity somewhere along the line.
He's always
for years.
He in Vietnam, he won the Bronze Star. He was the mechanic at his base in Vietnam, and this is about the only thing I know about Vietnam from him because he doesn't really talk about it. But he won the Bronze Star because he was in charge of maintaining the generators and everything mechanical on the base. And going from there, I mean, they had 0 failures with him.
I can see your father in you, man. Even though it's a different hobby, it's along the same lines. It takes patience. You have pride in your craft.
That's right.
And you know, looking from the outside in, man, all those signs are there, dude.
I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you letting me come out today, too.